Luguli cultural festivals in Vihiga County. It's a Maragoli festival, and it had some interesting things to say, which we'll be updating you in the bulletin tonight. We kick it off with the day's top stories. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi rallies for constitutional referendum in 2027 as the country goes to the ballots. ODM party adamant that it is united ahead of 2027 despite factionalism witnessed in recent days. Road safety emphasized during the holidays ahead of the festive weekend. You're in great pair of hands tonight with Laura Omondi on the sign language interpretation. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Good evening. Let's get this show started. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has tonight proposed key amendments to the Constitution to include the proposed creation of Ward Development Fund, the entrenchment of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, as well as the Senate Fund. This, he says, will be integral in developing and furthering devolution. The Prime Cabinet Secretary also called for the formalization of the Office of Prime Minister and Office of the Official Opposition Leader. Mudavadi has called on Kenyans to consider a referendum come 2027.
Identified that we must entrench the NG-CDF, that is the CDF, in the Constitution. So courts can never again threaten the bursaries of our children. I here add with conviction that we need also to introduce a new development fund, namely the Senate Oversight Fund, to cater for the specific role played by senators in providing for devolution. That means we make CDF constitutional and we also make the Senate funds constitutional. As part of strengthening devolution and inclusivity, fellow citizens, we should also constitutionalize the proposed creation of the Ward Development Fund, which is also a necessary creation for MCS. The Ward Development Fund will ensure resources for water points, community halls, and other grassroots needs instantly. For a unified face of Kenya in government, we must formalize the office of the Prime Minister and the leader of the official opposition to ensure that every region sees its face in the mirror of government. On the same breath, fellow citizens, allow me to mention that a referendum in 2027 will give us an opportunity to completely solve the riddle of the two-thirds gender and its compliance, not merely as a constitutional requirement, but also as an act of fairness and inclusive democracy. A recalibration of our Constitution will help us achieve this as well.
At the same time, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says Western Kenya is no longer a playing ground for empty slogans celebrating the victory after the Malava by-elections, where UDA candidate David Ndakwa won against DAPK's Seth Panyako. While speaking at the 46th Lugoli Cultural Festival in Vihiga, Mudavadi rallied county residents and the Western Kenya at large to back President William Ruto for a second term in 2027.
To announce that the recently concluded by-elections, and in particular the Malava constituency triumph, was a victory for purpose over rhetoric. We must acknowledge our recent hard-fought victory by electing a UDA candidate and he's here with us. He'll speak to us later. The Honorable David Ndakwa is with us. You proved that Western Kenya is no longer a playground for empty slogans. I repeat, it proved that Western Province, Western Kenya, is no longer a playground for empty slogans. I thank Malava for standing with the government. When we move as one, we win as one. But let this be a lesson. Our side won by just 1,354 votes, signaling that more needs to be done. We need to acknowledge that every single vote is a brick in the wall of our stability. As we celebrate during this festive season, my people, allow me to state that 20 months into the 2027 general elections, there is a beckoning reality that 2027 is a referendum moment.
Leadership within the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, has repeatedly dismissed reports of internal divisions, asserting that the party remains united despite the passing of its founder, the late Raila Odinga. Party leaders argue that internal disagreements and competition are signs of a healthy democracy rather than a signal of collapse. The leaders have explicitly rejected the idea of merging with UDA, insisting that any future cooperation will require a formal documented Memorandum of Understanding, MOU.
We want to have a stronger audience. And there's no political party that can stand up and say that they're not going to field candidates in every position. And that's nothing wrong. If your negotiation with Daktari and party leader will say, oh, we are not going to go there. But as for me, I'm still telling you that Orange Democratic Party will be able to go around and be strong, and we want to strengthen this party.
The ODM Constitution, under Article 16, Sub-Article 1, F, read together with Article 16, Sub-Article 1, D, vests that authority and mandate solely on the party leader. He's the one who is supposed to lead the party and its members in negotiations towards forming coalitions.
We respect our own rules by allowing only the party leader and the Secretary General to speak for us. I think we'll make progress.
I'm not interested in saying when Oburu says right, you go right. When Oburu says left, you go left. When we consult with the party and we take a party position, that is the part, what we follow, all of us, and we should speak with one voice as a party.
Cabinet Secretary for Energy, Opiyo Wandayi, has called on the ODM party leadership, led by Senator Oburu Oginga, to begin negotiations with like-minded parties ahead of the 2027 elections. Wandayi, who is a member of President William Ruto's executive, has been a consistent voice in the faction that says they will stand with Ruto in 2027. It remains to be seen which route the vibrant opposition, now turned government party, will take.
The ODM Constitution is quite unambiguous. It's very clear in terms of the duties of the party leader. And therefore we must bear that in mind. Because I have seen of late attempts of undermining the authority of the party leader, which is not proper. On this matter of negotiations, coalition building, the ODM Constitution, under Article 16, Sub-Article 1, F, read together with Article 16, Sub-Article 1, D, vests that authority and mandate solely on the party leader. He's the one who is supposed to lead the party and its members in negotiations towards forming coalitions. That is his duty. And a purposive interpretation of that clause tells me, as a lawyer, that he does not need to share that mandate with anybody. What is required of him is to lead the party members in negotiating with anybody, with any political party, towards forming coalitions, either pre or post elections. That once you have made a decision to go one particular way in terms of coalition making, you only have to report to NEC, the National Executive Committee, to validate it. That's all. That's all. No authority, no other person is supposed to come in between. And therefore, if we respect that, we shall have more tranquility and unity moving forward. Because we need it. And finally, as I conclude, Dr. I agree. You've said that these negotiations, this coalition building should happen earlier. I agree with you. We can't wait for 2027. It must be done early. When you were at my home the other day, you indicated maybe June next year. Me, I would suggest that with all humility, let it be around March that we are done with these issues. And we move forward knowing that we are supporting President William Ruto for his re-election as an podium.
The committee overseeing implementation of the 10-point agenda has cautioned political leaders against politicizing the implementation of the landmark reform agenda, warning that misinformation could undermine the spirit and gains of the National Dialogue Committee NADCO process. Member of the committee, Gabriel Oguda, said some politicians were deliberately misinforming the public about the status of the 10-point agenda, risking erosion of public trust in the agreement reached between President Dr. William Ruto and the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Speaking in Kisumu, Oguda said the agenda remains the core outcome of the Memorandum of Understanding signed by the two leaders in March this year and should be discussed factually without political spin.
If you are going to oversight the implementation, please come to us. If you have issues, we are the committee. We will give you the progress report so that you can represent the implementation well when you're speaking to your people. We don't want you to distort the message. So do not go through the agenda items one by one and lying to your people about the implementation. We are the oversight committee. We are the ones who will give the Kenyans the report. Please, we are urging everyone who wants to comment on the 10-point agenda, please be truthful, be factual. Do not distort the message because you want to score cheap political points. This is not a political committee. We will not allow any politician to distort the message or take over the functions of the committee. We are the only committee recognized by the two principles. We shall honor our mandate and we will give. If you are going to oversight the implementation, please come to us. If you have issues, we are the committee. We will give you the progress report so that you can represent the implementation well when you're speaking to your people. We don't want you to distort the message. So do not go through the agenda items one by one and lying to your people about the implementation.
As the festive season continues in top gear, members of the public have been urged to exercise increased responsibility and self-control. The combination of celebrations, events, travel, and social gatherings greatly raises the risk of road accidents and other preventable incidents. Residents and visitors have been encouraged to plan their journeys in advance, follow traffic rules and public regulations, and remain respectful of other road users at all times.
Naambia Wakenya kwamba hii Krismasi tunatarajia kuwa nzuri, na kama mtumishi wa Mungu pia ninawaambia kwamba ni vizuri tukae vizuri na tujipange, haswa kwa wakati kama huu. Kuna ajali mingi ambayo iko kwenye barabara sasa hivi, na ningependa kuambia madereva wote tuwe waangalifu kabisa, tuendeshe magari kwa sababu iko shida kubwa sana. Nimeona ajali mingi sana barabara ya Nairobi, tumepoteza watu wengi, lakini maombi yangu ni kwamba tuwe waangalifu kwenye barabara. Kila jambo lina wakati wake, na ni vizuri kwa wakati kama huu kuwa waangalifu pia kwa sababu ya mipangilio ya fedha, kwa sababu wengi watatumia fedha zao na itawapata wengine kama fedha zimeisha. Kwa hivyo wazazi, nataka kuambia hivi, tafadhali tutumie pesa kwa uangalifu. Christmas iko itapita, lakini watoto tuwaangalie pia, kwa sababu ikifika lazima kuna school fees tutalipa, Kwa hivyo tuwe waangalifu kwa matumizi yetu ya
A political dispute has erupted in East Sangalo ward after the ward's representative Everton Nganga and a challenger for the seat, Seth Musomi, confronted each other at Sangalo police station. Nganga has claimed that Musomi attempted to stab him with a knife on Thursday evening near Kitinda Bridge along the Musikoma Sangalo road as he was leaving Bungoma town. He says the incident forced him to flee for his safety before reporting the matter at Sangalo police station, fearing for his life. Now, speaking to journalists, Nganga urged politicians, especially young aspirants eyeing the seat, to avoid violence. However, Seth Musomi has denied the allegations, saying they are meant to tarnish his name. He insisted that he has no intention of harming Nganga and instead advised him to stop being fearful and to focus on serving the residents with the mandate he was given. Police have urged the two to seek an amicable resolution and to avoid acts of violence, especially at this time of heightened political tension as the country heads towards the 2027 elections.
Hapa kwa sababu jana nilifika hapa report nilipokuwa natoka Bungoma town karibu na taracha ya Kitinda, hiyo stream ya Kitinda, nikakutana na makari mbili zilikuwa zimesimama kwa barabara, zimeblock hiyo barabara. Nilipo slow down kupita, mmoja wao akiwa yule ambaye anawania kiti East Sangalo, huyo kijana ambaye anaitwa Seth, akatoka ndani na kisu. Ikapiti alikuwa anasonga karibu na mimi, ikapiti ni champe ponde yenye ilikuwa karibu na nitoroke, nikimbie, nipike, nikaenda mpaka kwa Sangalo police station nikapika report. Sasa tumekuwa hapa, polisi wamemuita, hata yeye pia amekuja hapa na amekiri kwamba alikuwa yeye na jana yeye alikuwa na kisu kwa mkono, amekiri na kwamba hiyo kisu alikuwa anaitumia sijui kukata kamba ili aunganishe ili afurute kamba kari nyingine yenye ilikuwa imekwama.
Na watu mbalimbali wako wanawawa kwa kitendo kama kile cha jana. Tunataka kushutumu kitendo hicho kikitumia maneno mazito. Siasa kama hiyo hatutaki Sangalo ward. Tunataka siasa komavu.
Tunisa vijana kwamba tusitumike vibaya, patilikeni, fuata njia ambayo ni mzuri, ambayo itakuletea kipato na uishi vizuri. Otherwise unaishia mwaka mpya wenye mafanikio.
Leo asubuhi nimeshtuka sana kuitwa kwa police station ya Sangalo kwamba nahitajika hapo niko under search. Nafaa ni arestiwe. Nimeuliza nini mbaya kufika huko, nimeambiwa area MCA anasema mimi namtafuta na mimi nataka kumwangamiza. Na mimi nataka kuambia ndugu yangu Everton Nganga aache hiyo uoka. Last December nilifanya mchezo akakuja na makuns wakaribu michezo yangu. Sasa leo ameona nimeandaa iko sawa sawa, akaanza kuja kutumia mbinu nyingine ili mimi nishikwe niwekwe ndani. Mambo kama hiyo hatutakubali na sisi tumesema hatutaki mambo kama hiyo. Jana nimefanya playoff katika shule ya Mwibale na mimi sitaokopa kusaidia watu wangu wa Sangalo.
Tingine tuna blame tu governor. MCAs wetu ndio wamelala. Kwa sababu hawezi kwenda kwa assembly waambie governor hii ndio natakana tufanye, hii ndio natakana ufanye. Watu kama Everton hao natakana waende nyumbani.
Hii Sangalo yote, hakuna mahali tangu aingie kwa kiti miaka 10 sasa hii. Hakuna mahali ameweka michezo. Ndio anaona wivu, sote ameweka michezo kila mahali natembea, hataki.
Sasa Nganga aachane na Seth, yeye afanye siasa yake hiyo ya pesa 8 huko, na sisi kama timu zetu tuko tayari na tuko tayari kabisa.
Kakamega Deputy Governor Ayub Savula says the Mulembe Nation will be voting for President William Ruto come 2027 amidst divisions within the ODM party on whether to back the broad-based government or not. Savula says the Western Region voting bloc does not owe ODM anything as it has backed its former and late party leader in the 2013, 2017 and 2022 polls.
2017 tukapatia kura zetu Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga. 2022 tukapatia Ruto kidogo attack, mingi ikaendea Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga. Saa hii Mheshimiwa Amolo Odinga hayupo. Sisi jamii ya Waluya, we are transferring our votes direct to William Samoei Ruto. Na mtu asikuje kutushtua. Sisi tulikuwa tunapigia Waluya, tunapigia direct Raila Amolo Odinga. Sahi maneno ya kupatia Ruto conditions, hakuna condition to William Ruto. Lawyers, we are going to vote for William Ruto direct. William Ruto ni jirani yetu, kutoka kwa nyumba yangu kwenda kwa nyumba ya Ruto pale Tarbo ni 7 minutes. Lakini nilikuwa napatia Raila mwenye alikuwa mbali huko Lake Victoria. So ile chama inaambia Ruto conditions, hakuna. If you are giving condition, then what is the alternative? Kama Ruto ndio Coca-Cola, the most popular brand in the market, leo unapatiana condition, tupatie basi fanda yako iko wapi? If you are giving Ruto conditions, ati kama ODM sisi condition yetu ni condition yetu, what is the alternative? Mnataka kwenda kwa Mnyoro? Mnataka kwenda kwa Kalonzo? The only best bet we have in Kenya for 2027 is...
More than 40 mothers at the newborn unit of Kericho County Referral Hospital who delivered triplets just days before Christmas had an early Christmas to remember after a charitable foundation stepped in to spread cheer and offer support during the festive season. Among the beneficiaries was Brenda Chepkoech, who welcomed triplets shortly before Christmas in a gesture aimed at ensuring no mother was left out of the festive celebrations.
Na nimebarikiwa na kababy girl. Na kako healthy. Ile time nilikuja nilipatana na daktari wazuri sana huku Kiambu. Wanashughulikia wagonjwa.
Nasikia poa kupata mtoto siku ya Christmas 25th. Ilikuwa saa 6 dakika 10 hivyo. Nasikia poa sana. Mtoto ako poa. Ananyonya poa sana.
Strength and the love that they have shown, they have made this day remarkable for them and unforgettable. I would also like to commend our able team, also our nurses, who tirelessly they do all their duties. Their skills have made our mothers have the best gift that they will remember it for the whole time period.
I delivered at theater when I gave birth to 2 kids, boys. Vile nilijifungua nikapewa majukumu zote nilipewa vizuri. Treatment nimepewa zote, madawa nimemesha zote. Watoto pia wako na hali nzuri, wako kwa nasari.
Watoto wawili walikuwa vizuri. Mmoja hakuwa anasikia vizuri. Nikaambiwa ninunue dawa lakini pesa haikuwa. Kwa hivyo naomba tu watu wanisaidie na pesa kidogo juu hospitali nilitoka. Niliacha huko bill na ilibidi mamangu aache ID yake.
Nashukuru Mungu pia kuweza kupata fursa ya kuchangamana nao ili kwamba pia waweze kufurahia hiyo furaha na sisi tunapomsherehekea Kristo msimu huu wa Christmas.
We are able to share the scriptures and we mainly focus on Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6 when it speaks about unto us a child is born, and the place where we went is a place where children have been born, so they could easily relate to that passage.
So month of December we have had quite a surge in deliveries. We are currently, as at today, we are around 280. We are approaching 300, and that is even exceeding the facility target. This facility target is around 150, and most of the time it exceeds the target.
The Wachangamwe community in Mombasa County has officially begun a 3-day event to celebrate the community's traditions and culture. To officially launch the event, the Wachangamwe community organized special prayers and prepared a popular traditional dish known as tangalizi, which is believed to ward off bad luck and diseases within the community. Speaking to journalists, one of the community leaders, Omar Kibwana Kombo, explained the significance of today's ceremony and outlined how activities will be conducted over the 3 days. Ali Goshi, a leader in Mombasa County, said the event is important for bringing the community together in order to preserve its traditions, culture, and customs. On his part, Mohamed Mwijuma Mwinyi Pembe called on age mates within the community to turn up enthusiastically for the activities scheduled for tomorrow at the Mwidani Hall, saying that the sessions will help steer young people away from loitering in the streets and also provide community leadership with an opportunity to involve youth in opportunities.
Jamii yoyote isiyokuwa na mila, isiyokuwa na desturi, isiyokuwa na tamaduni zake ni mfano wa mti ambao hauna mizizi. Mti ukiwa hauna mizizi hauwezi kushamiri. Kwa hivyo sisi kama jamii ya Wachangamwe ni watu ambao tuna desturi zetu, tuna mila zetu na tuna tamaduni zetu. Ndio maana tumeshikana na tumeungana kwa pamoja kuhuisha zile tamaduni zetu na mila zetu ili watu waweze kuzijua na kufahamu tulikuwa tukiishi vipi.
Nikisema kesho Jumamosi ni siku ya vijana, haijamaanisha kwamba tumeweka. Kesho ni siku ya elimu ya kuweza kufundishwa namna gani. Kuna wale ambao wameweza kufaulu kwenye masomo na maisha ya sawasawa, na kuna wengine hawakupata bahati ya kusoma kwa namna moja ama nyingine, labda familia ilikuwa chini ama katika makazi yao.
Hao wanapokuja kesho wataelimishwa kuhusu vitu kadhaa. Kuna area moja ni academic. Academic ni kwamba self actualization, kwamba je, watajiendeleza namna gani? Kulingana na Maslow anasema kuna basic needs ambao ni habari ya kulala, kuvaa nguo, ugonjwa.
Pia watoto wetu wa kike wa kiume popote pale Mchangamwe tuamwita aje Mwidani Hall aje asome utamaduni wake na mambo kadha wa kadha yaliyopo hivi leo, wajue mambo ya elimu, wajue mila zao na tamaduni, wajielewe wao wawe na mwelekeo, kwa sababu watoto hawana mwelekeo, hawajui wako wapi, watoka wapi, waenda wapi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. It is about 26 minutes past 9 p.m. So this is my last show of the year 2025. Now, I'd love to share something with you. Michelle Obama, who's the former U.S. First Lady, has spoken about this before, and she said, you know, most of life is just ordinary. It's not extraordinary. You're not doing something great. Nothing great is happening. You're just there. And perhaps this has been you for the better part of this year. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. It is not by mistake. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Be content with where you are. Be happy with where you are, but don't be complacent. Seek to do more. Seek to want to be more. Seek to want to grow more. Don't be complacent. But at this point, you're exactly where you should be in your process of growth. So as we cross over to the year 2026 in a few days, I pray and hope that it will be an year for you where you're looking for growth, where you're seeking to grow, but at the same time, you're also content with what you have, because that is where you're supposed to be. So I wrap this show tonight. You'll be with Martin Masharia from tomorrow henceforth, before as well Jeff Somba will be joining you. I've been with Laura Omondi on the sign language interpretation. I wish you a fantastic night ahead. Happy New Year in advance, 2026. God bless you.